Welcome to Lesson 3 in our Tennessee 4-H Tech Changemakers Digital Literacy program. This lesson will focus on digital safety and security. As usual, we'll talk about our learning objectives and module overview for this lesson. Our increasing interconnected world has increased the number of risks and threats that can affect our safety and security. Cyber attacks and cyber crimes do not discriminate. Anyone can fall victim to these types of crimes. According to the National Council on Aging, the monetary cost of cyber crimes targeting senior citizens in 2022 was estimated at $3.1 billion, nearly an 85% increase from 2021. Being familiar with the types of threats out there is often enough information that can help prevent these types of crimes. Therefore, this series of lessons should provide the information about these types of cyber crimes that are popular and some steps that can be taken to prevent falling victim to these crimes. Scams and phishing. Online scams are one of the primary types of cyber crimes. Scams take many shapes and forms, but they can loosely be defined as any type of scheme that aims to trick people into providing personal or sensitive information that can be used to commit fraud. Scammers often prey upon individuals' trust and portray themselves as legitimate sources. Let's discuss some types of scams. While this is not an exhaustive list, here are a few examples of most commonly used scams. First is IRS scams. One commonly used scheme involves the scammer claiming that they are from the IRS and they are calling in relation to your unclaimed refund. This scam, like many other scams, is attempting to coerce you into providing personal information regarding your bank account or driver's license. Scammers use various methods of contacting their victims, including email, text messages, or phone calls. It's important to remember that the IRS will never use any of these methods to contact you. All legitimate IRS messages comes via mail, therefore will never engage anyone claiming to be from the IRS if it is not sent via the Postal Service. Next, lottery scams. Another common scheme that scammers use to claim is that a person they are contacting has recently won the lottery. Like most other scams, the scammer will request that the individual provide them with their bank account information or personal information so that person can steal their money and identity. Like the IRS scams, state lotteries do not contact individuals about their winnings. It is important to be extremely wary about any claim that sounds too good to be true, because it likely is. Next is job scams. Job scams target individuals that are seeking employment online. The scammer will create a post for a fake job in the attempt to get people to send them personal information as part of an application process. These job scams are often sent via email or text message, but they can also be posted to legitimate sites like Craigslist. So it's very important to approach job listings that seem too good to be true with an attitude of skepticism. When applying to a job, always seek further information about the company offering the job to ensure that it's legitimate before you send any personal information. Last type of scam we want to cover is phishing. Like many other types commonly used scams, phishing is a general term which applies to scams which attackers attempt to trick individuals into voluntarily providing sensitive personal information to the attacker. In phishing attacks, the scammer will pose as a legitimate organization like Netflix, etc., and make some fraudulent claim about the user's account that aims to catch the attention of the receiver. The scammer could request that fraudulent activity has been noticed on the account, requiring the individual to change their password or provide other sensitive information. Always approach these kinds of messages with caution. If you have any question about the sender of one of these messages, do not respond to it and do not click or download any of the links within the email or text message. If the sender claims to be from an organization that you have an account with, you may want to log into that account to check and see if there's any validity to the claim that they're making. Most organizations will not send you emails or text messages to inform you of important account information, so always exercise ample caution when you receive these types of messages. Password safety. Many websites and online accounts require users to enter a username and password to protect their accounts. Passwords are important aspects of internet safety and security as they provide an added layer of protection to your personal and sensitive information. With this safety feature comes the threat of your passwords being breached by a third party or a loss of your passwords. To ensure that your passwords are protected, not easily stolen, and ensure your continued access, there are a few best practices that you can utilize to help protect your password and accounts. Do not use the same password for every account. If you do, if one account is hacked, the others are very susceptible considering you use the same password. Do not use family names or street addresses or something that could be easily guessed by a quick search on Google of your name. Try to make passwords as unique as possible. Numbers and special characters help aid in this. Do not write down your passwords so that they could not be seen or stolen or misplaced. Try to change your password every few months. And use a generative password creator and save it on your device. Internet privacy. Privacy is important but often overlooked aspect of your digital rights. According to a Pew poll from 2019, 6 in 10 U.S. adults believe that their personal data and information is being tracked and monitored by both companies and the government. Since your device is daily being connected to the internet and GPS, it is not wrong to question what rights to privacy you have in the digital world. It's important for individuals to understand what types of tracking websites perform on their users. Websites and organizations use cookies to collect data about their users to inform their internal practices as well as their advertising and marketing strategies. Use a VPN. VPN stands for Visual Private Network. Help create secure networks between your computer and the internet using a proxy server. VPNs can help protect you from hackers, internet monitoring, and allow you to go geo-locked content. Disable cookie tracking from your browser. Disable location tracking within apps and services that you have installed on your phone or devices. And do not post or tag photos of yourself on social media platforms. Using location services for public Wi-Fi safety. There's been a growing public concern about the amount of location tracking that can occur on mobile devices. One way that this privacy threat can be reduced is to disable location services on your device. Some cybercriminals can use public Wi-Fi to gain access to personal devices. Therefore, as an added layer of protection, turn off your Wi-Fi settings when you're not using a secure private connection. Mobile phone safety. Our mobile phones contain a great deal of sensitive personal information about us. Therefore, it's important to take measures to protect ourselves and our devices. This is a list of tips for mobile phone safety was adopted from Verizon's 8 common sense tips to keep your smartphone secure. 1. Avoid giving out personal information over text message or email. 2. Protect your phone's access with a password. 3. Only download applications from trusted sources. 4. Use cloud services to back up your phone's data. 5. Update your phone's operating system as well as your apps. Many updates contain increased security protections, therefore it's important to keep your phone current. 6. Log out of apps and sites after use. And 7. Disable Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when not in use. Identity protection. Identity theft is defined as improper usage of another person's personal information or for fraudulent purposes. Identity theft can occur when a person has access to credit card information, social security numbers, or various other personal information that can be used to create fraudulent accounts using your information. Using some of these tips we have already gone over in this module can help protect from cyber criminals and identity theft. Also, make sure you log out of any sites that process payments, and make sure you take necessary steps to protect your device and your passwords. When using Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is a wireless networking technology that allows you the ability to access the internet without using cords. Wi-Fi is the most common way that people access the internet, both from their home and in public. The growth of Wi-Fi has led to even more connectivity for the public, but alongside this, there has been growing concerns over the safety of using public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi is susceptible to being compromised. Therefore, there is some risk involved in accessing public Wi-Fi. When connecting to a public Wi-Fi network, there are some steps you can take to better protect you. Consider using a VPN, as we mentioned earlier. It is not necessary to make payments or sign in to confidential accounts while using public Wi-Fi. And turn your cell phone's Wi-Fi off when you're not using it. This concludes Lesson 3. References as follows for the content we used in this lesson. Again, if you have any questions, please ask your 4-H STEM ambassador or their accompanying 4-H agent. Thank you.